Hello, ghosties. This is Pheno, and today we're back with some more Duelyst. And I'm incredibly excited to be back because I've been waiting a couple days to sit back down and crank out some more of my mech deck. So what I did was I actually went in and I adjusted the mech deck a little bit. So upon slight request, I did change it to Argon Hymain. Some of the comments you guys were letting me know, being able to buff a friendly minion, it might be a little bit more beneficial than Brome. So I'm going to give Argon Hymain a shot, but I might go back to Brome in the long run, just because I like the idea of getting an additional minion, I think, more than being able to get a little bit of extra health. Attack, sorry. So, on that note, what I also did was I went into the deck, and I took out all of this guy, all of the deal 2 damage to everything, which is called, it's called something, Tempest. I took out all 3 Tempest, primarily just because I don't want to deal the damage to myself. I'm going to try to avoid that, and instead I also took out a Lasting Judgment. What I did was I replaced one of the Lasting Judgments with a 3rd Holy Immolation, and I then also replaced the Tempests with 3 Martyrdoms. Give us a lot better removal going forward with the deck. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to crank it out. We also, before I go in, we also lucked out today and got Lionar quests. So I can actually knock out my quests today while playing the deck that I wanted to play, which is not something that happens very often. So, Mana Death Grip. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get in and do it. Play. Season Ladder. Mech Lionar. I need to go through and clean up some of these decks at some point, too. Let's do it. Alright, so that is like maybe one of the worst possible starting hands that we could have ever seen. It's a little bit better. We do get to go first, so it's not all awful. But it's not ideal. We're also missing a lot of the cards to get Mechazar out, which could potentially also be a problem for us. Let's drop him there. Let's replace this guy. Alright. Let's see what we can make happen. Alright. So he's just gonna focus on buffing him up. He didn't grab the mana, which is also interesting. It's not nearby, right? Your other mechs have +1. Perfect. Bang! Let's replace one project. See if we can get anything a little bit better. So having the high value range right now is going to be pretty beneficial to us. Especially with Oakenheart. General takes no damage during your turn. So he's going right for blood on Oakenheart. Which is fine. He'll still take no damage, but we're going to be able to remove that for the most part. Let's replace Trinity Oath again. And then airdrop down to grab that. Ping him. Can be targeted by enemy spells. So we're currently up to 80%. We've got... So we're just looking to get the final card. We can drop silver next turn. Summon a Bloodfire Totem in that space. Okay, well we can remove that easily enough. Let's replace the Golem. So I can't target the structure. I remember running into this issue at one point. Rawr. All right. So next turn we get Mechazar. Then we can drop the Aegis Barrier on Mechazar, which will be perfect. It's going to make it so that, basically... I'm not a huge fan of artifact guys. Okay. That's fine. Us Aegis Barrier on him. Oh. Well, we didn't have lethal, but we were close to lethal. So let's see what he does, but I'm pretty sure it's GG. He could pull a win out, I suppose. But we knocked off all of his artifacts. We crushed his health. In the Aegis Barrier is now on all of our dudes, so we got Force Field. Thanks to our wonderful Mechazar here. Well played. We did it. So I feel like we made a couple mistakes there with the deck. But for the most part, I think we actually played that pretty well. There was a couple where I think we missed very obvious damage by not playing our Bloodbound when we should have. But at the same time, I think we did pretty well. Took us far longer to get Mechazar into play than usual. It's also possible that dropping Silver was the wrong decision. And maybe dropping the big guy was a better decision for more damage. He didn't have a form of dealing with him at the time, so we'll see. We flipped from last week. We are now getting to go second consistently now. All right, so what are we looking for with Cassie? Could be a creep deck. Direct damage deck, which is also seeming to be pretty viable. Let's replace the Spelljammer. Remove that. I don't know if that was the right play. Considering we give him a minion advantage. I like free cards. Let's take him out. And then, before we do that, yeah, let's airdrop up top. Replace Martyrdom. We don't need Trinity Oath right now, I don't think. That's fine. Whenever I summon a minion. So that's not a problem. Let's replace Trinity Oath, which gives us Oakenheart. Then end our turn. I'm not a huge fan of where our health is currently sitting. We're a little bit lower. We need to start being a little more cautious with our health now. But going into 6 mana turn next turn, we get Mechazar. That was not cool. I forgot to say good luck and have fun. Alright, so let's replace the Aegis Barrier for right now. And then The Project Alpha or Omega Project. Nobody has told me yet what that freaking symbol is. I'm pretty sure it's Omega, but Project Upside Down Horseshoe will be coming out next turn. We have lethal. I mean, we're gonna I don't think we're gonna drop him. I think we're just gonna finish him off. Okay, we no longer have lethal. He didn't think that one through. Pew pew! So we took a little bit more damage than I think I wanted to during that match. But all in all, I think we did pretty well. Back in we go. Versus Pheno plays Bex001. I think I've played Bex. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of Bex. There's probably just a lot of Bex. Definitely don't need 2 golems. Probably don't need Oakenheart in hand either. Alright, so if we tag that, it will leave us with enough mana to do that. And then remove this. So he's going for big hitters. He's just going to be most likely just a powerhouse. He didn't drop anything, which I do find rather intriguing. I'm going to let Metal Tooth chill out. I don't think I need the rush hit right now. And we can drop Oakenheart next turn and buff up all our minions and get Mechazar. And we now have trade value into him. Oh, we were 1 mech short. I miscounted. I have miscalculated. Which is fine. Now we'll have Mechazar next turn. Metal Tooth doesn't count. Be really great if Metal Tooth did count, but he doesn't count. That's a little bit sad, but I'm glad we traded properly. Oh, he actually stuck around. Woohoo! We did it! Yeah! Wow. This deck wrecks. Rank 12. I mean, we only need one more win to finish up our quests. I don't think General particularly has made a big difference. I think we would have had similar effects both with Braum and Bobbin Apples. Okay. I don't think the generals really made a huge difference in whether or not we've won so far. Let's cut the barrier. I'm debating on cutting the barrier from the deck entirely. Just because I'm not sure long term if it's needed. I like the ability to throw it on Mechazar because it allows us to turn Mechazar back into what he used to be. That's an interesting play. That's not one that I've seen before. Boop. I think that was the best way to deal with that. We cleared each one of them, and we didn't lose a single minion, and we got all of the mana. And he is currently freaking out, so remember, I want like a subscribe, like check out my channel button where I can click and like notify the other player. Check me out at Pheno Plays Games. So we took care of the artifact very easily. Removed that from play. We're still, I think we're only at 40%. I wish there was some sort of visual aid to tell me how close I was to Mechazar. I think we've only dropped 40%. All right. So let's replace this. The Death Watch has me nervous now. We did get another Metal Tooth, so I think we can get rid of it. So he's all about just cycling out my stuff. Wow. Don't ignore Metal Tooth. He deserves more than that. Oh my god, that Grimoire. What are the odds of him consistently getting them? What? Shouldn't that have been Mechazar? I feel like Mechazar should have come down. Maybe we... I wish I could scroll through to see how many I dropped. All I gotta do is keep stuff in between this and him. So he sealed me in. Oh. I don't have any silence in this deck. I'm pretty sure that's it. There's nothing I can do. He can reach me with the minion. Well played. I can't say I've ever been killed by a Wraithling. It is certainly a first. I'm pretty sure that's a first. Just silence. We need silence in the deck of some sort. Some sort of silence. I think silence is... So what do we have in our Mech Lionar? We're sitting at... We've got 2 Spelljammers. But there's a Silence guy. Right? That sits at 4 cost too. Got the orbs around him. I have no idea what his name is, though. I know what he looks like. Lightbender. So Lightbender would have completely and totally changed the outcome of that game. But I'm going to cut the Spelljammers and put the Lightbenders in. We haven't had any issues with card draw. And frankly, we have Trinity Oath. So I feel like we don't really need to worry about it. All in all, let's head on in and do one more match, even though we don't have to. I really do like the deck, though. It's a lot of fun. It is a blast to play. I gotta get some, like, cool Duelyst stuff. Like, I like stuff. Like, I played Slime Rancher, Final Fantasy, like you guys can see behind me. I want to get, like, something Duelyst related that I can put behind me. There's gotta be some cool stuff out there. Probably not, like, a Duelyst Lego, obviously, but... gotta be something fun. Actual physical cards would be cool. If I could get some Duelyst cards. I think it's a missed opportunity with a lot of games that are digital to not print physical, versions of cards. Give me the physical stuff. All right, so we can actually do a double snag. We can move forward, drop him to grab that, drop him to grab that. And then kill anything that he might drop that's within 3 health. Or he can just not drop anything. And we can replace the barrier. And end our turn. There's most likely a Blinky. He's going to be teleporting around. He's going to be trying to get behind me and deal damage. Or he's going to be a ranged character. Interesting. I'm not super concerned, to be perfectly honest, that he is a ranged player. Let's replace him for right now. Get some damage out, albeit not very much, but we're at 20% for Mechazar. Coming in with the heals. That's a pretty cool one. It's not a card I've seen before, so that's kind of neat. Let's replace the barrier. Which gives us the Metal Tooth. We've got the Holy Immolation. So all we need to do is position our minions in a clever way to be able to remove as much from him as we can. I don't think Holy Immolation's actually worth it right now. I think we just do this. And then buff him. We don't need 2 Holy Immolations in hand. So we've managed to mitigate everything he's dropped. Interesting. Spiral counter on that. That's all his mana, isn't it? Oh, it's only 1. That's pretty incredible. Oh, drop it in a convenient spot. Fear my EMP. Yeah, he doesn't like that. The downside is that EMP is not a mech, he's a golem, which doesn't make any sense personally to me. He should be a mech. But he's also got mech cards, so... Alright. So let's replace... Actually, let's use the Trinity Oath. And then... How do we want to do this? We have 4 mana left. If I could play... I can't do what I want to do. Let's replace the barrier. And then... drop him here. Drop Metal Tooth here. Buff Metal Tooth. Boom! No! I loved you, EMP. I should have seen the blink coming. That's my bad. Let's replace the Holy Immolation for right now. And then drop Mechazar. Trying to make it so he can't blink anything close enough to me. If he's got cards to blink, he could maybe get close enough, but then he's going to still have to pull out the damage. I'm very surprised he's coming closer. Very, very surprised he's coming closer. So, I don't have lethal. I have close to lethal. I'll be 1 hit away from killing him. I probably didn't want to do that, but... Alright. So next turn, we kill him. I find it really hard to believe he can pull out that much damage. Spiral Technique, maybe. But he's still got to get me down quite a bit to make that successful. And I can buff up Mechazar next turn for lethal. So there's nothing he can do. That's game. That was one of the more intense games that I've had, though. He's a player that knew what he was doing. He deserves a tip. Here you go. Have 5 gold, sir. We're climbing up. Level 16 with Lionar. It's wonderful. Back down to rank 12. So yeah, that's where we're going to wrap up this video. I don't know if I'm going to play Mech Lionar next time around. I might actually put together one of the other mech decks and see what we can make happen with that. I'm having a lot of fun with the mech combinations. And I don't know what Friday. I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure it out for a 2-hour episode. I'm going to keep playing with stuff. I'd love to see if I can find a cool, fun Magmar deck. Because I haven't played almost at all with Magmar, and the Grow deck is awful. So we're going to figure something out. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like, give it a share. We're aiming for 1,000 subs right now, so please feel free to toss this video out there. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come back very soon for some more Duelyst or any of the other great content here on the channel. Thank you all very much, and as always, till the next video.